Good morning, geometry guys. It's Mr. Jeffries. Don't forget, hit like and subscribe to the bell. And I have screens frozen, and I have another one that's not even where it's supposed to be. So it's going to be an awesome day. Don't forget, hit like and subscribe to the bell. All right, so today we're moving on with our next thing, and it's very similar to what we've already had. Okay? Now we're dealing with angles. All right? As it says, an angle is formed when two rays share a common endpoint, like we have right here. Okay, now, we use this symbol. Now, this, or this is flat, this is an angle. Okay, and where it's, well, I just did the same thing twice, so that doesn't help. All right. When it's up above, like you're going to have a line, when it's up above the line, that's like greater than, less than. That's inequality. Okay, this is a n equal. Okay, so just a little heads up. And again, it's really not that deep. Okay, most of the stuff where you're going to have to actually put stuff for angles, I'm going to have a blank already. Now, there are three ways to name this one to the right. Okay? One is just by the vertex. Okay? The vertex is like this point right here. So this would be angle Y. Okay? That's one way you could name it. Another way would be to follow the points. X, Y, Z, kind of like we did with our lines and line segments and rays and such. And like we learned with the lines, we can read them both directions, Z, Y, and X. Now, notice that on these two, our middle letter, that's our vertex. Okay? That's the meeting point. So, now we still have some people that have a hard time reading the letters and stuff for the lines yesterday. And then we had some people, I don't know if it was nerves or what, but some people on your test, it almost looked like it was your first day on the planet. Okay. So, example 1. 3 ways to name the angle marked. Well, the angle marked is this right here. The easiest one to do would be angle 1. You can actually have numbers to name angles. We'll see. We'll get into a lot of that later. Okay? Now, what is another way that we can name this angle? Yeah. Angle A, B, C. Because remember, the middle letter has to be the vertex. A is not the vertex. All right. And we have one more way, which would be, yes, come in. All right. Hey, he was trying to be polite, and everybody's like, okay. Now, so let's look at this one. Why would angle B not be a good name for what we're listing? No, why would it not be? Because B is the vertex for 2 angles. Okay? We have angle ABC. We also have this angle right here, which is CBD. Okay? So you can't name it one letter if there's like multiple angles at that same spot. All right? Now, in this class, we measure angle in degrees. Okay? Now, this little m, okay, that's how we say when we deal with angles is the measure. Okay? All right, so our question right here is, what is the difference between this and this one right here? Yes. Yeah, it does have an M. All right, this one, this is the name of the angle. This one right here is the measure of the angle. Okay? So, believe it or not, when you put that little m right there, that actually, it's different. Okay? It's kind of like, I don't know if anybody's ever had this, hey, I have that same shirt, but different. Okay? You can't have the same shirt and it be different. That kind of goes against all the definitions of stuff. But you can say, I have that shirt, but in a different color. Trust me, I find a shirt I like, I get it in multiple different patterns. I think y'all have seen it with all of the, somebody is a, fashion judge with some of the different camo Hawaiian shirts I have. All right. So, now, vocabulary for this. These should not be new. Now, whether you remember them or not is totally different. Okay? An acute angle is between 0 and 90. All right? Most teachers beforehand say, oh, it's small, it's very cute. Oh, how cute. Okay? Now, if it's 90 degrees, it's a right angle. Okay? Just like if you're ever cold in this classroom, where's the one place you can go to get warm? The corner, because it's always 90 degrees. Yeah, wow. Yeah, thank you. Okay, I actually had one wow, and I had two people give me the same look my ex-wife does. So, now, it's fine. She knows. Now, obtuse, that's when it goes past 90 all the way to 180. All right? Now, this is actually, this straight angle, it's like, well, that's a straight line. No, it's a straight angle. All right, why do we have our Chromebook out? We're not Chromebooking right now. All right, so now, just like we had the segment addition postulate, we can have the angle addition postulate, okay? So, any Power Rangers fans?
Power Rangers?
Yeah, Power Rangers thing, yeah, okay. Yeah, I did too. Love it. And I really liked it because I like one of the original cartoons from the 80s called Voltron, that they're making a live action movie of that, where we had 5 mechanical lions that combined to make one super robot. Okay? So in my mind, as weird and twisted as it is, when I see these angle addition postulates and segment addition postulates, I think of like all the Megazords, all the Zords combining to make a Megazord, or all the 5 lines make a super robot. Trust me, it's just the way my mind works. Okay? Now.
I am having correct Power Rangers.
Nice. All right, so now, as it does with all the math, we always start off with something easy to trick you into it, and then we make it harder. Okay, so we're asked to find the measure of angle ABD. Now, if you have a hard time seeing what these angles are, I would suggest following the points with your pencil. Some of y'all have highlighters, whatever. All right, what would the measure of this big angle be?
I would say it's,
Yep. Yep.
42
42 what?
degrees.
Degrees. Okay, now, on your answers, you have to put the little degree symbol. Okay? So girls, guess what happens when you don't put the degree symbol on your answer?
You get wrong.
Yeah, you get it marked wrong. Okay? That's normally on the check on learning on this angle stuff, that's what people get wrong. They forget to put it in degrees. That's an easy note that you could write on yourself or on your orange sheet for your next test. Yes, sir.
You still have the degrees on 22.
I did forget the degrees on 20 and 22. Thank you. All right. Now, example 3. I'm looking for this angle here. All of this is 39 degrees. Yes. Subtract. Yeah, so we have 39 degrees minus 18 degrees is,
21.
yes, 21 degrees. Okay? Now, like I said, we start off, simple and then we make it harder. But, you have to walk before you can crawl. I mean, you have to crawl before you can walk, and you have to walk before you can jog, and you have to jog before you can run. Okay? It's a process. So, are we good with example 2 and 3?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, to the back.
Back on this? No, I'm saying there's never a back.
No, there hasn't been a back in a few days because it's been a test I could put on one side, or a practice test. Okay? So, when two angles have equal measures, we say that they are congruent. Okay? So, now, remember with the line segments and the lines, we would make that little hash mark. For angles, we make an arc. Okay? Saying that these are congruent. So we would say angle Y. Ladies, y'all's discussion is overtaking the lesson. All right. So we would say angle Y is congruent to angle Z. Likewise, we would say angle A is congruent to angle B. Now, even though we might not be using it like super quick in class, all this stuff has a meaning and there's a reason why we're learning it. Okay? Not this next test, but the next one, you'll have to say like, these are congruent, which means the measures are the same. Yeah. Definitions. All right. So let's look right here. Now, after you get your test back, you may want to like pick up a habit that I do in class and label where these things are because it will help you set them up better. All right. So it says RST is 4x plus 12. Okay, TSW is 5x plus 10. And it says the big angle is 130 degrees. Find x, measure RST, measure this. Now, like you had on your test, and the practice test, and the notes and check on learning before, you will have a box to put all that stuff in. All right, so we would set this up. Now, I want to show something because there was something that happened more than once, and I've yet to understand why this happened yesterday. Okay? I saw a lot of people, don't just watch what I'm writing in pink. they did this for 4 and 5, which was our segment addition postulates. Whenever did we do that in class? Never. Okay? So it even says that you're supposed to add these. Okay? Now, what's even funnier is some of my honors kids thought they were all that in a bag of chips, and they didn't need to do that little line right there. Well, they solved their equations wrong. Okay? When you combine like terms on the same side, all right, I have 4x and 5x, which is 9x. Okay? And then 12 and 10 is 22 equals 130. All right, now, the rules of solving equations didn't change from what it did like yesterday or today or 5 seconds ago. All right, we still would subtract. You know, I didn't see on anybody's orange sheets the steps to solve that we had on the notes 2 weeks ago or last week. And some people really needed the steps to solve because they did not solve them very well. All right? And we would divide. So I'm going to make a little answer box right over here. Answer box, and I'm going to say that x equals 12. Okay? Now, going back over here, measure angle RST. Well, this is 4x plus 12. And I still had people in my classes, all 3 geometry classes, that did not plug stuff in the right way, even after being shown multiple times. Okay, I grew up on a farm. I could take a horse to the water trough. I can try to shove the horse's face down in the water. I can't make you drink. I can't make it drink. I can show you 1,000 times, but it's going to be up to you to know how to do this. All right, so our measure for angle RST is 60 degrees. Okay, now 2 ways that we could find the next one. All right, 2 ways we could find the next one. We could plug it in. Okay, and you know, we would have 5 times 12 plus 10. Or we could say 130 minus 60. Either way, we're going to get the same answer. Well, it's all right. 70. Okay. Yeah. It's okay to say something wrong, like I don't mess up saying something like 8 times a class. And I have 6 classes, so that's 48 times a day. That's a lot. Yeah, because I'm human. Now, so other than having the different symbols and, you know, the angles, did our process really change very much? No. It's the same process, just applied to a different thing. Okay? All right. Does anybody need more time right here? Are we good? All right. Now, example 6. All right. Angle DEG. It's 5x plus 20. I would get bored in math when I was a student. Sometimes I still do as a teacher. And like if it would make like a little word, that's what I would say. Like this is angle deg instead of DEG. You know. And this would be angle. My name's Jeff. Okay. I mean, I get bored just as much as y'all do. All right, and what are we going to set these two equal to each other? No, we're going to add them. Now, what do they equal, though? That's the big thing. 180. Because what type of angle is this? Straight angle. All right. Draw my little line. So I'm going to combine like terms. Let's see. So I have 5 and 3. This would be 8x. I had a lot of people that would try to subtract 3x right here. Yesterday, I was kind of worried. Worried a lot. Okay. 20 minus 8. 12. Minus 12. Minus 12. Alright, so now we have 8x equals, let's see, 180 minus 12, 168. And then we divide, and what do we get? Haha. Yep. No, x is just 21. This was not an angle. That's what's crazy. We're not, hey, I like where you're thinking. Normally I don't mark off if you accidentally say that x is 21 degrees for this. Okay? So, now, the measure of angle DEG is 5 plus 20. Alright, so x is 21. God, my son used to drive me nuts with that. Alright, this ends up being 125 degrees. Right? Did I do that one right? 5 times 21 plus 20. Yeah, okay. And then this one, now I could subtract 125 from 180 to find angle Jeff, but so let's see, 3 times 21 minus 8. All right, so this one will be 50. Oop, wrong color. $55 degrees. Okay, same process, different application. Okay, that's kind of crazy that, you know, oh, if you have this, we can apply it to this. Yes, that actually has more truth outside of this classroom and this building than anything. We just happen to be doing it with math. All right? Is that it? Do we have another problem? Awesome! So, don't forget, hit like and subscribe to the bell. Good stuff. Good things. Roll Tide.